Next up, at UFC 282, we have former Arkansas wrestler TJ Brown taking on Erik Silva. TJ Brown 16-9 overall, 2-3 in his last 5 years, coming off a decision loss about 4 months ago. And Erik Silva, which is a real pain in the ass to do research on because there's two Erik Silvas, including like the handsome Brazilian guy that went from UFC to Bellator. Anyway, Erik Silva 9-1 overall, 5-0 in his last 5 years, riding an 8-fight win streak. And we have aggressive grappler versus aggressive grappler. And the issue here is TJ Brown did not grapple in his last fight. And that is weighing very heavily on my pick here because TJ Brown, when he's just diving at legs and pushing that wrestling pace, is actually more dangerous than when he's striking and trying to play it cool because, Erik Silva will just walk forward throwing heavy bombs, heavy kicks, and then look for the takedown, where TJ, I feel like he's one or the other. He's either kickboxing or he's just diving at legs, and he doesn't really mesh it that well. His last fight was that loss I mentioned about 4 months ago to Shailan Nerdenbeek. He didn't initiate any takedowns at all, and he gave up 3. He threatened submissions in some of those scrambles, but they were nonsense, and then he ended up giving the position up because he was chasing submissions. It was just poor fight IQ, lost scrambles, didn't try to offensive wrestle. It was just not a good look, and maybe that fight was the anomaly, but I got to go with Erik Silva here because I trust him to push the wrestling pace. I trust him to bomb away, go forward, and I think TJ's going to try to snatch a guillotine, try to do something, lose a scramble, end up on bottom and lose another decision. What do you think, Jackie boy?
I actually disagree on the trust aspect of this fight. First of all, we got to put it out in the open right here. Is it's been talked about a lot lately, and we just got to understand why you hate Arkansas wrestling so much. I'd love to hear an answer because I'm a big Arkansas wrestling guy, and I'm a big TJ Brown guy, and you've been kind of exposed with the Arkansas wrestling stuff and the hatred.
Exposed. I was very clear in the video. There's levels to everything in life, including wrestling. I'm from the Northeast. I've wrestled my entire life. I've coached wrestling. I've been to Fargo Nationals, the regular high school nationals in Virginia. I've seen wrestlers from every state compete at every level, Jacob. I don't think I've ever seen somebody from Arkansas in the finals of any of those tournaments, ever. And people like to hate on me in the comments for saying Arkansas wrestling's not very good. So I Googled top wrestling states, states ranked by wrestling, and I came across USA Wrestling's ranked wrestlers by state. How many ranked wrestlers do you think Arkansas had?
How many did Indiana have in the top 10 is what I want to know. 7? 8?
I don't think Indiana was on the list.
Huh?
Neither was Arkansas. Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Iowa. Oh, yeah. That list is loaded. Arkansas didn't even make the list. Didn't have one kid in the entire state. That Connecticut had 2. You look at a map, Connecticut's the second smallest state.
People. There's 6 people.
It's the second smallest state. 2 of them are ranked nationally for wrestling.
There's so many. There's not enough people that they're wrestlers and they're cheerleaders.
So I have no problem with Arkansas wrestlers. Programs, Texas has 1, this giant-ass state. I have no problem with Arkansas wrestling, obviously. And we'll get to the Bryce Mitchell fight. I just cannot stand people just not even acknowledging that there's levels to anything, including wrestling. But Jacob, your breakdown, please.
Yeah, what I was saying earlier was you were talking about the trust, and you kind of trust Erik Silva more because you know the game plan. I actually kind of trust TJ Brown more because of the experience, and I know how he's going to react in later rounds. If you look at the way that Erik Silva has kind of been running through people, it's been very, very easy for him. It's just a nice, easy takedown, gets their bag, chokes them out. Usually, I know he had the TKO in the Contender Series fight, but everything's been very easy. Just boom, boom, boom. He's been a better grappler than everyone that he's fought. In this matchup, I think it's a little bit of a wash. I don't think TJ Brown is the overly dominant wrestler or grappler, but I know that TJ Brown will still wrestle in the second round, in the third round. I don't know what Erik Silva is going to look like. I know he does have decisions early on in his career. 3-4 years ago, whatever, but when you've been first round, and that doesn't work, Now it's like a little bit of a question mark. I know that TJ will be there in the second round, in the third round. I know how tough he is. I am a little bit biased because he is my boy. I know he left the Arkansas wrestling, but I'm the one that coined the term Arkansas wrestling with TJ Brown, where Bryce Mitchell, and I absolutely love TJ Brown is in this matchup because I think on the feet he's a little bit better, and in the wrestling I can trust him in the second, in the third rounds. Can he lose? Of course he can lose. This is a toss-up fight. This is another one of those fights. I wouldn't play, actually, I'm telling people probably don't pick a side. Maybe like a weird prop here and there.
Someone in the comments goes, I added Erik Silva to my parlay. Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But I do have money line on TJ Brown. It's a little bit biased. That's why I'm telling you don't necessarily listen to me in this. But I just think that I can trust him more in the later rounds. And Erik has a little bit more of a question mark.
Look, I'm not going to, I did pick a side, but not with my money. And I hate to open the breakdown with the first three fights being like, hey, don't bet on this, don't bet on that. It's a tricky card. You don't need to bet on every single fight. We're breaking down fights. We're giving picks. I think Erik Silva will initiate the wrestling. We've seen TJ not do that. You're not worried about that Nerd and Beak fight? That he just didn't. He was wrestling and he was scrambling. I know you didn't like that he wasn't like shooting takedowns, but that's a big physical guy that you're trying to take down, and he knows how to wrestle. I mean, Shylon is one of the best wrestlers out there as well, and so I think it was more of a game plan type thing. Like, hey, I think I could do something besides wrestle, but in this matchup, I think he's gonna be forced to do it, and I think he's gonna excel because of it. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Should be an interesting fight. What I will take a look at is the Bet Online does the takedown prop bets.
Yeah, they haven't dropped any props for this fight yet. Still, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, they've been taking their time. I think they've been getting their clock cleaned a little bit, so they've been taking their time.
They probably don't let me bet on them until later in the week. Is what's probably what's happening.
That must be what it is.
I mean,
but they dropped those takedown prop bets. We had two of them last week. One was a refund because they did not rule a takedown in the what's her name fight? The Yasmin fight. They said there was no takedown. So you just get a refund if there's no takedown. And then we did cash in what the hell was the other fight?
Oh yeah.
Is it Mateusz Nicolau? He had a takedown. I think that was that one. Anyway, I had 3 units on one, 3 units or 2 units on the other. One cashed, one was a refund.
High on Matt Schnell too. Like, what were you guys thinking?
I don't know if you've noticed, but 90% of the people that comment on our stuff are dead wrong constantly.
Not anyone in the chat.
No, these are the sharp ones. These are definitely the sharp ones. So I'll look for those lines when they drop. We may get lucky and Bet Online may say, oh, TJ Brown won takedown because of his last performance. And then you can play the over there and make yourself some cash. Become a premium member for $10 a month because when those prop bets drop, we immediately attack them. We immediately start betting on them if they make sense to bet on. And you're going to see those. You'll get those alerts on your phone. You could hit those lines before they move because for the most part, we get really good closing line value on the prop bets for sure. So become a premium member. It's only $10 a month. WeOwnPicks.com, click become a member. $7,900 to $8,300, almost even money in DraftKings. You like the 79?
No.
What a joke. I love this matchup for TJ Brown. What a fucking
that was not a quote from me.
Muppet.
So, I mean, that was not a quote from me.
You said I love this matchup for TJ Brown. You said that.
That's what I said. You want to bet on that? That was a direct quote?
Okay. It wasn't an exact quote. You said,
okay,
I love TJ Brown in this matchup is what you said.
No, that wasn't it. I might have said, I like TJ in this matchup. That's why I bet on him. But I told everyone else, don't fucking bet on him.
Okay. I am going to watch this back. Back. Yeah, we will see. I am going to watch this back.
We will see. Let's wrestle.
Oh, I don't know what happened to his internet. It's weird.
Let's wrestle.
Just stuck with it. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 46 to 78. I do think this goes to a decision. It's pitter-patter strikes. Every single thing counts with Monkey Knife Fight. It's not significant strikes. The 78 seems a little high, but I think it's a more and more. I think this fight likely goes to a decision. I think there's a whole bunch of this bullshit. Defending takedowns on bottom, top, stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised the line on this is 1.5. I know the over 1.5 is -175, but I mean that still looks like pretty good value because I agree. I think these guys, even if they're grappling, they're both experienced enough to not get submitted by the other guy, and I think it kind of goes. And yeah, I agree. I could see this as a decision fight. There might be some decent value on if they place at 1.5, you might get fight goes the distance at like plus 170 or something like that.
I don't know about that, but I do have a over-under
You just
round.
you just said that you think the fight goes to a decision, but you're not willing to bet on it. You just said it. You said I love this fight going to a decision, but you're not willing to bet on it.
You said, I think it could be 170, and I said, I don't know about that. That's what the exchange just was.
I'm sorry.
Absolute ass clown. I do have a 2-fight over-under round prop parlay going. If you're a premium member, check that out because I'm very confident in that. And I had that same thing last week, and that cashed big time. I think that was 3 fights last week, and that cashed big time. So we are split on the pick, but neither one of us are very confident. Don't like it in DraftKings, where I actually do think TJ is probably a little more worth it in DraftKings. And we both like the more on Monkey Knife Fight and the over on the round prop.